ULEAD Career Connection cards are based on the same concept as our original deck, but they are focused entirely on the career pathways. So the pillars of mindset and work ethic and learning strategies and SEL skills, all of those things that they're developing competencies now from kindergarten through 12th grade. These cards are designed to spark curiosity and discussion, and students can actually start to explore different ideas and maybe even think in new ways about careers or jobs or vocations that they haven't even thought of before. And so the Career Connection cards, they have 10 elements. There are many activities that are being developed, and they are for educators and youth workers, anyone working with kids in the space of career and counseling them to think about what is their purpose in life.
I want to draw your attention to the question here at the top of our cards. All right, how this will be utilized in an activity would be you each would have a question. I would then ask that question to you, and then you would then respond to that question. So for example, this question says, what if your job started at 6 a.m., okay? So if your job started at 6 a.m., how would you feel about that? All right. I would then respond to that question saying that, you know what, I think I would need to find a different job. I don't think I would be able to get up at 6 a.m. So then another adaptation would be interview style, where we would ask questions as if we were interviewing. And I would say, well, hey, what if you had the option of flex time and you could come in at 9 sometimes? Well, hey, that might not sound too bad. This activity allows for you to have a much deeper conversation with your partner. So I want to draw your attention to the die or the dice that's here on this card, okay? And so we all know when we are getting to know each other, an awesome icebreaker is to actually show this die. And what would happen is I would come up and I would say, okay, I would tell people 2 things about myself. My favorite color is purple, and I love cheeseburgers. And so if the next person, when they flip their card over, they would have 5. So they would have to come up with 5 things to tell or share. And this is an awesome activity to get to know you, for fun, engagement, and maybe a couple of laughs.
We're going to focus on the image element on the front of the card. There's an activity, it's called Picture Yourself, where we hand out a card to each individual, they find a partner, and then they look at, this one shows a chef at work, and they'll talk about the thoughts, feelings, emotions they might have if they were to have this job. Once both partners have had a chance to share, they switch cards and they go and find a new partner. It's a great way for them to picture themselves in this career. Another activity using the image is what we call Angel's Advocate. We divide the group into 2 teams. One is the Angel's Advocate and one is the Devil's Advocate. We then show them both a same card and have them brainstorm ways that, for the Angel's Advocate, this would be the best job, and for the Devil's Advocate, this would be the worst job. And then we have them make notes and put together their thoughts, and then come back together and debate one another and see if they can convince the other team that their option is the best.
It's always awesome to get a group creative juices flowing and to get them to think outside the box. So our icon brainstorming activity is awesome for this. So here I have a clock. It's not really a clock. This is a plate, okay? This is my compass. This is a Frisbee. This is a shifter for me to make flour, right? Okay, so you get the drift, right? We're trying to think of different things, think outside the box of other things that you could potentially use this particular item for. Okay, so now I want to draw your attention to our quotes here with our ULEAD Career Connections deck cards. All of our quotes, there are from male and female. There are 27 quotes from male, 27 quotes from female. You'll notice that they're differentiated between orange quotes being male, blue quotes being women. These are awesome for deeper conversation and connection, engagement, debates, or honestly, just a shift in perspective from one person to another. All right, we all have to have some fun every once in a while. We got to lighten the mood, right? And so we have our team high five activity. drawing your attention to the element of the animal, the emotion, and then action, right? And so you would combine all three of these together. So this one is the pleasant sheep throw. All right, so I'm being pleasant, throwing a sheep. The purpose of this activity is allow for engagement and fun amongst all teammates and staff, or even youth. So now I want to draw your attention to the letters, the element of the letters on each ULEAD card. And so we have an activity called Spell It Out. And with Spell It Out, you would, for let's say it's a hair salon or a bakery, you would want to come up with as many words to describe that occupation. So if I'm going to say salon, I know shears or scissors, shampoo, scalp detox, right? All of these things will be found in a salon. There are 2 full alphabets in each deck of ULEAD cards. There are 28 challenging emotions and that reflect challenge, and there are 28 emotions that are seen as more positive, okay? Each of these emotions can be utilized with an activity that we have called When I Feel, with the emotion word. And so what it gives is an opportunity for youth or adult where you can actually circle up and have them actually express how they feel when maybe they are in a pleasant mood, or how they feel when they feel withdrawn from circumstances or individuals. So for example, when do I feel pleasant at work? When do I feel maybe withdrawn at work? So it allows for that active dialogue that would allow them to come up with the emotions that maybe they weren't able to come up with on their own.
The next element is the card value. Each deck has a full set, similar to a deck of playing cards. The activity we use of this sometimes is called the Battle Royale, which is like the game War, where each participant is given 1 to 5 cards and they compete for the high card. This is a great game for talking about conflict and how oftentimes it's a win-lose scenario. And then you can lead into what might be some other options when conflict arises. Each deck contains 9 animals in 6 animal groups. We play an activity called Everybody Needs a Mascot. We hand a card to each group. This one says a monkey. And they have to come up with all the reasons they can for why a monkey would make the best mascot for their team. Monkeys are creative. Monkeys are fun, energetic, and the list can go on and on.
Another element is the movement. In this activity, you'll need like a tossable or a ball. The way it works is you get a group of people, like 5 or 10 together in a circle. You have a stack of cards in the middle, and then you give the ball or the tossable to one person. They will start this activity. So they go up, pull a card, and the first card they pull, they will look to the movement word on the card. So I have slide, and now that person has to try to come up with 6 different jobs or professions that would utilize that movement. And before the ball is tossed around or passed around the circle 2 or 3 times, they have to come up with 6 different jobs that use that motion. So mine, I'm looking at it right now, it's slide. I'm only thinking of 2, and I'll probably get stressed out trying to think of more. I'm thinking of like skaters, like ice skaters. I'm thinking of somebody like a machine operator. I'm thinking of maybe a downhill skier. So there's my 3, and I would probably go, and then I'd have to hand it over. So the whole idea of this activity is to front load a conversation about how do you handle stress. And if you think about like a workplace, stress is a big part of that. So this activity helps to open that discussion about what are the feelings, how do you monitor when you get into stressful situations. So if you're interested to hear more and learn more about ULEAD cards, we invite you to join our card club, which brings a new activity every month right into your inbox. You can also go to our website at uleadinc.org, or if you're interested in the card training, just email us at experiences@uleadinc.org.